Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile. So, yeah, Blight League's over. We're in this middle period. We just had the manifesto. I did my video. I talked about the nerfs and what we have to get prepared for the zombies, right? What are the patch notes going to be? Well, the patch notes came out, so I don't know how to do this. I have the patch notes. I've reviewed them. I know exactly what I'm doing. I've made the POB. I've planned my league starter. This video... The video is for you guys to know what my league starter is, to learn how to do it, and to maybe you can play it too if you think it's good enough. I'm not going to tell you that it's the best league starter, but honestly, I'm so excited to play minions in as a league starter, okay? Necromancer's going to be really good. Scion, pretty good. I have another one that I'll make another video for another league starter, but we'll start with this one because it's the best one that I'm going to be doing probably. But there's another one I have that you guys could do that could be very good. Okay. So yeah, I don't know how to do this, but I guess I'll just start with looking at the POB real quick. And then later I'll explain all of the patch notes and like the big changes to the build and what we'll be doing late game because of the massive changes to zombies. Specifically zombies. Okay, so let's get rid of PoE. Let's get up my actual other thing. There we go. So then I'll look at the actual recording because I'm not looking at my other screen for this. Okay, so basically you see here I made a POB. And I called it League Start 3.9 Necro. So it's funny what they did. The major things that they've done is they nerfed the move speed on Mindless Aggression to 10%. They nerfed the move speed on the Onslaught node, Ravenous Horde, by half. That's it, right? They didn't even touch this one? Yeah. So they didn't even touch all of the nodes that I thought they would? Okay, so basically, for you, the person or the viewer who wants to play this as a league starter, because I already know how it works, and now I need to help you guys understand what I was going through. So I've made a POB that should be very helpful for a new player. So basically down here, if you see when you open up POB, if you don't know, when you open up POB, you'll have an import-export build. You click import from Pastebin, and so you would click on the link in my description, the Pastebin, and then copy the link from the link that you clicked, because if you try to copy it from my description, it's going to be the YouTube shortener thing, and it's not going to be Pastebin. It's going to be some YouTube thing, and it's broken. It won't work. You need to go to it, then take the link and put it into the POB. So once you put that into Path of Building, you'll load up this, and down here, you'll see 4th Ascendency. You can change this to Minions Survive! And so you'll see here, this is the start. So you start here as a witch, and we go up, 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 and we're just trying to get to this cluster. So they didn't change my cluster. This is the most important cluster that you'll ever have as a necromancer or any minion build that I've experienced. So you get your minion life, and then here's the god one. Minion life regen for yourself, minion regen, minion all res, and then you can get yourself the minion leech, minion regen. Now your minions are absolutely gods, and minions survive, as I say. So the starter 13 points are super simple. You just want to make your minions survive because it's super annoying to constantly respawn zombies. If you've ever played them, you know what I'm talking about. This is like once you've played 2, 3 months, 5 months, 3 seasons of minions, you start to go, yeah, I want them to live, even with the nerfs. So then you click the next one, and it's more minion survival. So you come down here, and for 5, 6 more points, you get the crazy Indomitable Army, which, you know, if you've ever played physical damage reduction, Ellie, it's good. Your minions are going to be good. You're going to be happy. Then you click the next one. This is where you start getting minion damage. So you've already pathed pretty far into the tree, and you've passed some things. So you passed this Enduring Bond node of minion damage. You passed this Aligned Spirits minion damage. Also mana, which also mana in the early game, then the reduced mana cost of minion skills when you're using skeletons, because we're going to, I'm going to show you up here, skills. This, like I said, you're going to start as a raised zombie build, because it's the first minion skill you get, and then you're going to get Raging Spirit, and then you're going to get Summon Skeletons. Okay, so I have all the links, all the priorities of everything you'll want, up to even numbers you probably won't go to of links. I showcased the Desecrate Spirit offering with the Castle Channeling Cyclone setup. I put in the cast when damage taken. This is supposed to be level 1. Glad I caught that. And so this is the cast when damage taken setup that you would set up as soon as you get the Ascendency, which I even put in the thing that after it's around here, we have our first Ascendency, and I put Mistress of Sacrifice, because this is when you're going to be around level 38. You're going to have the Ascendency. You're going to go set up the cast when damage taken setup with the Desecrate Spirit offering. You're going to set up the Cyclone Castle Channeling setup. Now you're literally a god. You're immune because everything won't be dealing enough damage. And as long as your minions are surviving, then you're good. And really, like, the problem before was summoning skeletons while you're trying to stay alive is annoying. But with all this, maybe it'll be good. And then we can just use the Val Summon Skeletons. We'll probably buy that off somebody very early. But I'll go back in the skill tree to go, like I was just explaining that. So we get the extra minion damage, and and that's what we're working towards. We're working towards the Ascendency. So, after getting the minion damage, we go, ooh, now we have all this extra stuff of life we can get in the tree. So, we get extra zombie and skelly up here, extra zombie, skelly life and damage. We can get life and mana here. We get mana regen and normal regen and life. We get life here. We're just filling out the skill tree of things that we skipped again. Then I said big minion moves. This is where technically the priority is we start going down here. We fill out this double damage minion node. So actually on the POB, the best minion nodes for damage in the game right now is this one, like this one, and the Onslaught. So those are the best 3 damage minion nodes in the game. That's just how it is. So we like getting this one right away. So when you get to this node, you have 2 options. You could either come down here to get health and strength and regen and shit, or you go up here, which is what I would prefer. You come over here, come up, skip this for now, and we'd go straight to the minion node. Minion deals 12%, minion deals 12%, and ooh, the beautiful one, minions 20% regen, minion deal 20, minion regen, and then we get even more minion damage, etc. It's very good. Then this is where we'd fill out the rest, so we'd get the life probably first. We'd probably come down here, get this life. Then we'd come back, get the armor ES. Now that once we have all that, and I'm level 38 at least, and I'm like doing all that stuff, we're gonna go get Mistress of Sacrifice. We'll go do the Ascendency. This is where I go do the big moves, second Ascendency. So you see here, down here, I'm like, I'll have some LE res problems. So I grab all this LE res. I get some life down here, get some armor. Get some chaos res up here, and then I go, okay, I guess I can, because I'm already up here, I guess I can get the LA res up here as well. Then I can get the Ravenous Horde because I'm already up here. It's super simple. Then this is where I can get ES life because I'm already using the Cyclone Spirit offering Desecrate setup, so the life ES scaling is actually worth it now. We could even come down here and get the ES here. You see how that works? We could get the ES here. So we get the second Ascendency. The first one down here, Mindless Aggression. We got our nerfed Ascendency, so we don't actually feel the nerfs of Ravenous Horde move speed and the Ascendency move speed all the way until we're like level 50. This is like, who cares? The gameplay has felt the same, other than the zombie scaling is nerfed of life scaling. Like, I think we're okay. Okay, so then we've got second Ascendency. We're already big chilling. Like, pretty much the game's beat. Okay, so then we're just filling out the skill tree. We can get our jewel sockets, the extra ES here, jewel socket, jewel socket, jewel socket, jewel socket. Jewel socket. Jewel socket. There you go. Third Ascendency. We come get Unnatural Strength to get the extra 2 levels. Then fourth Ascendency, Bone Barrier, and we fill out. Oh yeah, that was just completing the fourth because we usually do that way later. I don't do that right away. I'll fix that. There we go. Nice. Nice. So yeah, that's the skill tree explained and why I do it and that order, etc. Makes a lot of sense. This node and this node, pretty much all you need for minion survival. We'll see if it changes. But now on to some actual cool stuff. Like I said, you'll be using the Raise Zombie, Summon Skeletons. You'll replace Raging Spirit with Summon Skeletons as soon as possible, but Raging Spirit you can use. Raise Spectre is chosen in Act 7 when we get the Carnage Chieftain and Host Chieftain. And then we use this at level 38. These two at 38. And then our auras, we can use Purity of Elements, Skitterbots, because they buffed ailments in 3.9, and then Discipline's still good because an ES buffer and ES recharge rate faster is good. You have to use an Enlighten. You can even use, I think, an Enlighten 3 and you'll have enough mana. So you don't even need an Enlighten 4, it's just showing. The other thing is in calculations. So I put up a quick build. So this is on to the fun part now. I just went over the basics, but now we can go on to actual cool shit. Okay. So let's put in the extra jewel. 1 sec. There we go. Okay. So basically I put together a quick build here. The build is a nice little package called the Baron. Montegrul's Grasp, Baron, Strength Stacking, you know, the norm. So we got the Alberons, Astromantis. This is literally the normal Zombie Mancer package, right? The nerfed package. So the nerfs, I need to go address this real quick before we, how am I gonna... Oh, here we go. Okay. Give me a sec. It's very confusing. Okay. So, we have here the Raise Zombie nerfs or changes. So, the first one to address, the Zombie Slam ability now has a 6-second cooldown from 4. So you actually have the ability cooldown recovery rate changing as you go. When you get to a level 30 Raise Zombie, I'll show you here. So look, cooldown recovery. Slam has increased cooldown recovery. 76 at level 20. You keep going. 100 at level 26. 116 at 30. Okay, so now that we've seen that, what cooldown? Okay, cool. So, multi-strike, by the way, the reason you use it is to hold your zombies in place so that they kill monsters instead of doing crazy things. It's actually to hold them in place. It's a trick to mess with the AI. Okay. The next one is funny. Has a base radius of 17 units from 28. So they nerfed the Slam AoE by a lot. Very significant, right? The Slam is now slower, has 30% less base damage effectiveness at level 1, rising to a previous gem damage effectiveness around gem level 17. So it's the exact same at 17, so really there's no difference. Who cares? Base zombie damage has been reduced by approximately 25% at all gem levels. That's a big deal. Except for Slam being the same. Okay. No longer grants zombies more life as the gem levels. So we don't get 58% more life on the gem anymore. But then they add this little thing here. But the zombies themselves do gain base life with each gem level like other minions. So I'll show you that real quick. This part before we, okay, so basically here, if you're looking, calculations, we have 80,000 life on our zombies. And so I'm like, that's a lot. That's as much as we had before. But then I noticed that in the POB, the gem still has 48% more life. And this isn't socketed in the weapon, by the way. So if I showed also, I have a secret thing. So this is my crazy weapon. It has the extra mem. Ignore mem, okay? But life, 55,000. And if you socket this in the weapon, 84,000 with, don't worry about the damage, okay? But 84,000 life. Now, you see how the raised zombie has 56% more life? Now, I was like, oh, do you set this to 1? And then the life is only 4,600 and it has no life scaling because it's 58%? But no, there's life scaling. And so I have no idea what the actual life will be. Is it 84,000 or is it just some like 60 or 58? I don't know, man. Either way, I think we can augment it with like a different mod on the weapon. So basically the point here is you'd lose maim, which is just a damage mod, so you can get strength instead of maim, who cares? And then the maul is exactly the same. The damage is irrelevant. Just look at the life of your zombie, and if that is the updated raised zombie, then that's pretty cool. But I don't think it is. Either way, return all that back to how it is. Okay. And then the other point is that there's base minion life scaling, so don't worry about this 58%. I don't think it's gonna be the worst thing. It's gonna be like when I'm trying to do the deep delving, that way of it. It's that side. I'll have some trouble pushing as far as I did with the minion survival, but yeah. Anyways. The next thing is actually super cool. So that's a nerf. We just know that that's a nerf, right? No more minion life scaling. Okay, but this, what is this? They added a buff. They buffed them. Okay, so what got giant AoE in the past in a melee league? Cyclone. Wait. How much AoE? Okay, so the base AoE of the slam is nerfed, and they gave it AoE scaling on the gem level. So if we're still using my maul, it still goes to 30, guys. So what is this? AoE of the zombie slam, 76% at level 20. Well, by my math, if you scroll down on the raised zombie page, you see this cooldown recovery? At level 20, it's 76, so I believe that the scaling is exactly the same. It's 4 per level minus 1, like minus 1 level. So, or it's level minus 1 times 4 or something, whatever. Point is, at level 30, I already have, you see this, 30, 116%, just like the cooldown recovery speed for the slam. So you'll have your 0 cooldown slam. That also will have an 116% multiplier on its AoE. And so what is 116% of the 17? I have that as well. Give me a second here. Should be 36.72 radius on the zombie slamming at level 30. So they lowered the AoE from 28 to 17, but then actually the slam is going to be higher with my build, and that's not counting like other way, I don't know, other things we could do, but it should be 8 or so higher radius, which then, if you think about it, if your zombies are hitting more units, leeching more, hitting more, getting more targets, blah blah, more area of effect, isn't that better? And then Like, we're doing better. The cooldown didn't matter. This isn't a nerf. Who cares? This is a buff with this in mind, which we're gonna do because it's still the best. I think the two-handed mace is still the best without Mim. And then the minion life should be fine. If we have to, we can put minion life on the maul. And then the base damage is just unfortunate. Like, we can't do anything about that. That's just... But overall, after looking at everything, we have some buffs. We have things to look forward to. We have things to do that are different than before. We now have, like I said, the AoE. And now I'll go through... So I've talked about the skills. They're pretty similar to what we've already done and known, like how we level up necromancers in the past. It's nothing new. You could even grab a golem. You could grab... Holy Relic. There's a bunch of like random things you can pick up, I guess. Okay, so the build, like I said, this is the items to get to the 1,000 strength. So the concept for people who don't know, you're trying to get 1,000 strength here because the Baron gives you leech from your zombies. Leech from your zombies is another layer of defense because the layers of defense that we currently use are regen, maybe potions. We might use a life potion in the beginning. We usually do. We use the Cyclone Spirit Offering setup to give us Energy Shield. We have Energy Shield Recharge. Then we have the Leech. So we have an extra layer of defense on top of it because of the Baron. And then the Montegrel's Grasp is the thing causing the zombies to be so tanky. Even with the nerfs, we're adding HP to our zombies that then gets scaled by our skill tree. And then they also have the extra... clear speed no matter what the minion damage is. It's really funny how that works. We have Geoffrey's to give us the giant like 5,000 ES shield, which is pretty neat. Shaper's Touch gives us the scaling on the ES, because if we're gonna do 1,000 strength, it's still worth it to do Shaper's Touch. We just won't go to 1,800 strength this time. We'll probably do 1,000 and then go tons of minion damage, and let's see how hard we can scale the damage this time. Soldier Boots for the increased strength, Astromantis to cover all of our attributes, even though, to be honest, we were okay until I put in the efficient trainings. We put 55 strength rings, strength belt, and then flasks are just good flasks, and we have our increased strength, increased life, and chaos res jewels with the efficient trainings. So I just kept it pretty simple. My reses in this are capped somehow. I don't really know what I did other than, yep, this is pretty cool. That's not really the point. The point is that it should still come together pretty well in the end, and this is a pretty cool, cheap budget version, and the actual two-handed maul shouldn't be hard to get because the difference here now is the maul, the maim is gone, so you just have to get +1, and then... This is just, so weird, dude. It's still good. It's still good, man. It's still good. Just get minion damage somewhere else, and then we're still good. It's just we can't rely purely on the maul anymore. Unfortunate. But yeah, it's really cool how good Montegrel's Grasp is, especially if you go delving. Montegrel's Grasp is going to do well for you. Shield, Victario's Charity, if you didn't already know, and then that opens up your Spectre choice. You could run a different Spectre too. You could run your zombies as tanks, and then you could run Spectre damage in the chest plate. We could go for some like +1. We could get Maim somewhere else. Like you could run a Claw. I also showed, or I made a Claw build where you put like skeletons on a trigger a socketed spell when you cast a spell, and then so when you flame dash and stuff, you'll be summoning skeletons which will be maiming monsters so that your zombies will do maimed hits. So I hit in the config, I was adding enemies are maimed, but I didn't do that anymore. I didn't even apply the frenzy or power charges. I don't care to try to like show like look at the damage. You guys already know what I do, what my builds are. I'm not trying to like basically your damage, whatever you do, is going to be dictated by the damage that you pick and do in the game. Like my damage that I showcase, of course I could just go and choose all the highest mere tier items and showcase like look at this 5 billion damage. Like that I'm not here to do that. I'm just showing you good like fundamentals of PoE, and this is what we're going to be doing for league start, and I think this is a solid thing, and I thought this was a lot shorter than it was. Holy moly, it's 25 minutes in. Time flew by. What the heck, dude? Okay, well, either way, perfect video, flawless. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I like to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel: White Wolf, Trednix, Hannah, Steven, Last Fables, YouTube members Garbar, Trednix, White Wolf, Varkbone, Kerbed, John, Lelouch, Lamprou, Dawood, Dubu. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And man, am I excited for holy shit, this shows. I just talked for 25 minutes about my league start, and I didn't even notice it was 25. Really fun, really fun. I love this shit. We have another build to still go through and make for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.